What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles.com. We have a 2004 Ducati ST3. What does this say? Test Madromica. Sounds like something from what was that? Battleship Galactica. I don't know. Test Madromica. Ducati ST3. Excuse me. A very unique looking bike. you got the deer whistles, that'll save you. Check out the walk around video. I'm excited to take it for a spin. Oh yeah, one thing. If your Japanese bike sounds like a Ducati, then there's something catastrophically wrong with it. But if your Ducati sounds like a broken Japanese bike, it's probably something very right with it. I have a hard time getting used to that sound, that ratchety stuff clanking around. I can't stand the dry clutch. Alright guys, let's start the day like we should with some words of wisdom. Psalm 118:24. This is the day the Lord has made. I should rejoice and be glad in it. Awesome. Now, a lot of people were wondering, you were probably like me up until 20 minutes ago, and you and you had very, very little knowledge of the Ducati ST3. And maybe you're wondering what's the difference between the Ducati ST3 and the ST4. Well, the ST3 is a 3-valve, the ST4 is a 4-valve. It is a 1000cc bike. It is more on the touring spectrum. Oh, it's got handlebars on it. It's more on the touring spectrum. It's got, clip-on with clip-on risers. It's much more comfortable than your standard sport bike. You're not down like this. It's actually a pretty comfortable ride. It has a longitudinal V-twin, classic Ducati, and it's pushing out just over 100 horsepower. It's actually, I saw this bike come in and I was like, it's a goofy looking old Ducati. I'm not gonna like it. And I gotta admit, reading the specs about it, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty impressive. It's a pretty powerful machine, and things just started looking better and better for this Ducati ST3. A friend of mine came in and bought a bunch of bikes from me, and he had an ST4, and he was like, you're gonna love this bike. And I'm like, really? And I gotta admit, it's a pretty cool bike. I'm gonna get on it just a little bit, just to see if it feels like 100. Oh wow. Wow. Yeah, all right, I get it. This is a sport touring bike, but it's got some power to it. It is a fun bike, and it handles very well. Really throw it into the corners. All right. You see, it's one of those things, you can never judge a book by its covers. And a lot of times with the old Ducatis, let's all just be honest. Most old bikes look a little funny anyway. 2001 Suzuki GSX-R looks dumb. But you can't judge a book by its covers. You really have to respect and appreciate the Ducati's V-twin and their power band, even though they have to do like, they have to have a 30% larger motor to keep up with the Japanese 1000s. Kind of cheating there, Ducati. But that low end torque and that grunty V-twin power, you know what I mean? Oh, stalled it. What am I doing? And that just grunty V-twin power. A lot of fun. The power band is so much more consistent than the import bikes. You know, this thing, it's a very flat power, very flat feeling power band. Just a consistent, it's pulling very good the whole time. If you were on a 600, it's gonna pull good until 8,000 RPMs, and then it pulls like it pulls your arms off. You know what I mean? It pulls like a beast. It's just much more consistent. It doesn't rev up as high as the imports, but that's what, you know, it's normal for the V-twins. What else? This bike does not have a single-sided swing arm. They weren't really going for lightweight. They didn't need to. It's not that type of bike. So it's got the double-sided conventional swing arm. It really is a joy to ride. Come up here, hit some corners. I'm getting, you know, I'll tell you what, I've gotten so spoiled. I've gotten so spoiled from using I'm not there today. I've gotten so spoiled from having a gear indicator on the dash that when I don't have one, I'm lost. I have no clue. You know, normally when you're riding, you're kind of counting in the back of your mind, kind of like guys that shoot a lot, military guys and police officers. They always know how many rounds they got from shooting. It's just always they're always kind of counting in the back of their mind. I used to do that, but then I ride these bikes with gear indicators, and now I don't even have to do that anymore. This technology is ruining you. The kids of tomorrow, they won't know how to count gears. They'll be stalling it at all the red lights and stuff, and pulling up the stoplights in 5th gear. Excuse my cough, guys. I just can't shake it. So, this is actually a pretty cool bike. I was skeptical. I was definitely skeptical. I thought it was going to be heavier. I thought it was going to be slower. It's got crazy low miles on it, too. But it really is a nimble bike. And you don't... I mean, when you're hitting these corners, it just wants to go lower and lower and lower. Like that right there. That you're hitting a sweet spot. It just wants to start toppling down and just like lay it down. I'm talking in a good way. It wants you to throw your knee down, and just this bike wants to do it. The only thing slowing this bike down is you. Remember that. It's absolutely true. Guys, this is a fun bike. This thing's not going to last very long. Although it seems like my Ducatis only sell like in packs. I'll have a Ducati here for like a couple months. I'll have 3 of them here for a couple months, and they all sell at the same time. A lot of fun. Alright guys, remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going. We'll see you guys later. Subscribe.